Demon Tides is an open-world 3D platformer by Fabraz, an indie studio that has quickly come to specialize in expressive platformers with Demon Turf before this and Bubsy 4D after this. We were given early access to Demon Tides via its Act 1 preview build, and here's our initial impressions. Fresh off her quest to conquer the demon world, 1,000-year-old Beebs sets off on a new journey through the vast oceans of Ragnar's Rock to find her father, who just so happens to be the king of the area. With a motley crew of quirky friends in tow, they quickly set out on a scrapped-together adventure boat to explore the world ahead and see what lies in store. And what lies in store? Well, a lot of platforming, obviously. The open world of Demon Tides most closely calls to mind something like Sonic Frontiers, with a large, sprawling area broken up by individual, intricate platforming challenges in their own dedicated play spaces. These areas often have their own unique characters, visuals, and platforming gimmicks to contend with, and there are valuable collectibles to find throughout. The game feels a lot like a 3D Sonic game, actually, with a boost button, rail grinding, and a homing attack of all things, but in a lot of ways, it feels better than many of those recent outings from Sonic Team. The controls are tight and precise, there is predictable weight and physics for every move, and putting together a lengthy series of actions is very satisfying. There's a term called schmovement that's often applied to advanced movement or combo-heavy games in all different genres, but it's particularly applicable here. Fabraz places a large emphasis on speedrunning and mechanical flow in their games, and this is evident throughout much of the design. Every bespoke platforming challenge area has its own race and leaderboards, so you're further incentivized to polish up your times and get good. It's immensely satisfying and essentially mandatory to string together all of the moves in Beebs' arsenal to clear insane gaps, conquer tricky challenges, and generally just feel like you're moving efficiently. There's very little friction in the control scheme and everything plays very logically, but it can take some time to fully come to grips with the entire moveset and how you're expected to leverage it. While the difficulty floor is generally pretty low to start, it remains to be seen how high that floor will get and whether those who can't work the controls as fluidly will struggle as a result. Better get good. So yes, the core platforming experience seems rock solid. The game then builds upon this with some fun innovations and bits of design that push those foundations forward. You can tag surfaces with custom graffiti, but in an added twist there's kind of a shared world element to it, where tags you place can be seen by other players and you can see tags they placed. It's a really thoughtful touch, and it's kind of amazing how much fun there is in reaching an out-of-the-way location, seeing the tags of others who made it there, and adding your own, knowing others will see it when they do the same. On top of that, there are augments that can do everything from tweaking your basic platforming abilities to adding new traversal options and changing the strength of gravity itself. Various outfits and cosmetic options are also peppered throughout, something you'd expect to see in a game that calls itself an expressive platformer. Uniquely, the checkpoint system is entirely player-driven, where you can place down a checkpoint flag at basically any time instead of the game giving you specific save points to rely on. This is obviously very helpful and a big time saver for challenging segments and practicing certain platforming sections, but it does take a fair bit of muscle memory to remember to use this feature if you're not used to it, so it can often end up being just as much of a time waster if you haven't used one in a while. Get good, I guess. The game also isn't always clear on where you can place a checkpoint versus where you cannot, so some frustration can arise from that as well. We should mention the presentation here quickly. The soundtrack is very funky and was worked on in part by Fat Bard, who also composed Rugrats Adventures in Gameland, which we loved, alongside dozens of other projects, including Demon Turf and Bubsy 4D. The visuals have this soft, saturated look that's very reminiscent of something like The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, and all the characters you'll come across are distinct and well designed. There's even a dedicated Steam Deck preset that's very smart for targeting the rapidly expanding PC handheld market, for which this type of game is a good fit. Though it did struggle at times on our lower-end Legion Go S, performance was largely very good. On the whole, this is shaping up to be a polished, engaging, and exciting platforming experience that, in its first few frames at least, mixes the best of what the genre currently offers with classic design sensibilities from generations past. Its deep, refined moveset hooks you right away, its characters are distinct, its presentation is appealing, and most of all, it's just damn fun. Fabraz has proven themselves to be not just competent, but pretty elite at platformers like this, so this is one that should absolutely be on your radar. Time will tell how all of this translates into the experience of a full game that you pay for, but as far as we're concerned, it's off to an excellent start. Demon Tides launches on PC on February 19th. A physical version combining Demon Tides with its prequel Demon Turf will also be available for Nintendo Switch later in 2026. For those who can't wait, a less comprehensive demo version is available on Steam now. These impressions were based on preview build access provided by the publisher. Thanks so much for watching. Stay fresh, cheese bags. We'll catch you back here real soon.